Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today's topic is super important and I actually have been wanting to do this video for a long time. Today I will be sharing with you my top 6 tips on how to stay productive and organized, whether you're in school, at work, whether you've taken out a hobby like YouTube for example. Being productive and organized is super important in any facet of your life. If you're a stay-at-home mom, there's a lot of things that have to be organized and you have to have everybody's schedule in mind when you're making sure to plan things. So I hope that you guys like this video. If you do, make sure to leave me a thumbs up. It really helps out my channel. Also make sure to subscribe and don't forget to hit that bell notification right next to the subscribe button because that way you will get a notification every time I put up a video. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. Today I want to teach you guys how to stay organized, how to maximize your time, and how to make sure that you get all of the tasks that you have to get done throughout the day, throughout the week, done in an efficient, organized, good manner. Tip number 1 is to make lists. Now, what I like to do is I like to take all of the tasks that I have to do in my day and then I want to write everything down. It's kind of like word vomit. You write it all down and then once you have it written down on paper, what I like to do is I like to go back and I number what are the tasks that I have to complete for sure today, what are the tasks that can probably wait until tomorrow or the end of the week, and what is really something that I don't necessarily have to do, that I just want to put in there just for, you know, whatever reason. So I number the things that are priority and then I make sure that I accomplish those things. Now, this should not be a stressful process. So the reason that we're doing this is because we want to get that list that plays over and over in our head out of our head and we want to put it on paper. So this should not be stressful. I'm going to put it on paper and therefore I'm not going to think about it. I'm just going to refer to the list when I need to do it. So number 1 tip is to make sure to write everything down on a list, then go back and number it. Don't be super stressed out about making sure to write everything in the sequence of importance. I've actually tried that myself and that ended up being a lot more stressful than just writing it all down and then worrying about what is priority later. Number 2, schedule in idle or cushion time. So this means that you're going to take the priority list that you have created now, maybe number 1 through 5, and no more than 5, okay? Because we want to make sure that we keep that list short. You shouldn't have more than 5 things to do that are very, very crucial and important to complete in one day. So we're going to take those 5 items, we're going to schedule them into our agenda, but we need to make sure that we schedule cushion time in between. So we don't want to go from 1 to 2 and 2 to 3. We want to make sure that we go from 1 and then 1 to 2 and then maybe take a small break in between and then do the other one. So if something were to happen where one task may take you a little bit longer than expected, then you're not having to shift your entire schedule because you accidentally didn't schedule enough time. And then that becomes more stressful and then you start to worry about the stress of not getting the things done in a productive way. It's a never-ending cycle. So make sure to schedule in some idle time, some cushion time. Also, once you've completed a task, it's okay to take a small break. I like to do that for myself so that I can approach the following task with lots of energy and be thinking about what it is that I'm going to do before I do it. Number 3, this one is a tough one for me. It's something that I'm currently working on, and this is to say no. So there are times where we almost can feel obligated to take on another task, but if it doesn't fit into your daily thing of stuff that is super important for you to complete, then it's okay to say no. You got to make sure that you can do the things that you can do, and just the best that you can do is really the best that you could do, and that's it. So make sure to be able to say no when it's necessary. Number 4 is to focus on the task at hand. So no more multitasking. Make sure that you have one designated task that you're currently working on, complete it to the fullest, and then worry about the other task that has to be done. Now, if you have allotted yourself a certain amount of time to do this task, then if you get to however far you get within that task, it's okay to stop doing that task, even though it's not finished, and move on to the other one because you want to make sure to stay within the schedule. And sometimes, you know, you can go back the following day. You could plan that into your next day, or you can go back after you completed the task if you have some extra time, whatever it may be. But multitasking can sometimes be stressful when you're trying to stay organized and you're trying to be productive, because it's a lot easier to get one task done well, or a few done well, versus trying to do all 3 tasks, let's say, at one time and then not finishing any one of those. Tip number 5 is to use a calendar. So I have already alluded to this, scheduling in your tasks, but using a calendar is super important. I used to be one of the people who had an agenda where I would write everything down on paper, but now I use digital. So I use just my iPhone and I put everything there, and I have everything synced on all of my devices, so I find that very easy for myself. But I do understand that sometimes people need to see it on paper, and I had to practice that method for a very long time before I moved on to digital. And in fact, I was a little bit nervous because I like to be able to open my agenda and see the entire week laid out, but you can do that on the iPhone, and you can also do that on the Google Calendar. You could download that. Making sure to have a calendar is very important, and one of the things that I always tell people when they ask me, how is it that you do everything that you do? Because I currently have 2 jobs, and then I've decided to take on YouTube, which is almost like another job. It requires a lot of time for editing, filming, coming up with ideas, creating templates, etc. But I schedule in my exercises, I schedule in my time for cooking meals and meal prepping, I schedule in my time just to make sure that I get, my hair done or whatever it may be. I schedule those things into my day as well. So I don't only focus on the tasks that I have to do for work, for video editing, or for my other job creating workout plans and all of that. I actually schedule in things that are personal to me, because it's very important to have that time so that you can approach the stuff that you have to do throughout the day with good energy and with, a clear mindset. Tip number 6. This one can kind of sound a little bit corny, but the reality is that it's fun to be productive and to be organized. I enjoy it a lot, and I know that you will enjoy it too, and it's just great to know that you've put a lot of work and that you have accomplished something that you're proud of and you want the world to see, or something that you have done for school and you're excited for the teacher to read it because you feel really good about what you presented as an interpretation of who you are and how hard you're willing to work. So my last tip is to make sure that you enjoy it, because this is something that all of us have to do. We all have to stay organized, we all have a lot of tasks, and sometimes we can get just bombarded in the everyday stress of, oh, I gotta do this, and a long list of stuff. But remember to enjoy yourself, have a great time being productive. And that's it, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please leave me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Also, make sure to check the bell notification so that you get a notification every time I put a new video. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.